Hello everyone and welcome to the Anime Zillia, and thank you for joining me as we discuss episode 9 of the God of High School, the anime series. An episode that has some really good, well presented music, some great animation that just helped this episode kind of be all that more enjoyable. So we start off where we left off with episode 8 cliffhanger, that of course being Taijin being captured. And throughout this we basically get a bunch of reused images between Mori and Taijin, which really helps make this opening segment all the more impactful when you combine it with the music that was given. After all, this helps portray the feeling of desperation that Mori Jin feels while he's rushing to find his grandfather. I thought that was a great way to open up, and it shows good direction for the episode to come. Now, the scene with Mori Jin finding his grandfather was a bit different in the anime when comparing it to its webtoon counterpart. If I remember correctly, in the webtoon series, Mori has someone guide him to where Taijin is, and then that person gets injured, and there might be a bit of betrayal involved in there as well. Now, this change isn't that bad, as the person that was with Mori that guides him in the webtoon series wasn't really that important. I think that character was just a clone created by the doppelganger guy that we see Mori Jin fighting in this episode anyway, so that particular change slash scene that was left out isn't too bad. It just serves that Mori Jin getting tricked even more in this episode, and you know, he might have been betrayed, so that could add on to the pain slash trauma that he might be feeling by the end of this episode. So where we see Mori Jin really sort of angry and really peeved off, then of course obviously being tricked even more or again, or even being betrayed would obviously add to the reason as to why he's so angry. But of course, they left that out. Not a big issue. Honestly, if I had to guess, I think this change was made due to avoid kind of drawing or creating characters that aren't that necessary, in order to save the budget for when the big, important fight slash scenes do arrive. Another small change that I did notice, however, was Mori Jin's entrance to the tournament. I remember Mori looking way more beaten up and almost on the brink of death. And when we see him turn up to this fight in this episode, he looks completely unscathed. His clothes survived an explosion without so much as like a tear or a rip or a scratch. Yes, I know he used acupressure on himself to not feel anything for a while, but even then, the episode should have given us a timer or something that indicates when the pain is going to run out. I don't know why, but whenever an anime series does this, it always adds to my excitement, because it adds more tension. When Mori Jin's timer for his acupressure runs out, he's going to be in unspeakable pain. And just seeing that timer there, again, adds that tension, builds up to something even more, because at the start of the next episode, we're probably going to see Mori Jin hurling in pain, rolling around on the floor, like, he's just had the god's wrath or something. I don't know. However, that double visual that we see in the fight of that double beatdown was super cool. Seeing how he dispatched that doppelganger guy and his opponent in the ring at the same time, that was a really nice visual display. Something that I really got behind. Going back to Mori looking a bit roughed up though, did you notice that his eyes were shaking when he was standing? Now, there's two reasons for this. One, he could be trying to maintain a high level of concentration while in intense pain. And that, of course, would obviously kind of add to that list of him kind of going completely off the rails in terms of being in so much agony when that acupressure runs off. And the other could be he's just super duper angry. Because when you're angry, your whole body shakes with rage. Either way, that was a nice little touch, so at least they gave us that. Okay, so the character that stole this episode for me was, of course, Mira. I loved Mira's content in this episode. I thought that her awakening to a borrowed power was wonderfully animated and well kind of presented. And it's only gone and been the great hero, Labu Phalanx. It's up on the screen. Pronunciation is not my strong point. Seeing the horn-like things appear from Mira's head was so cool to see. It was a great visual representation, and it was just like it was in the webtoon series, so I really did like that. And that being said, I really like it when a character falls into their kind of own ocean of like consciousness, and then they start to question themselves / self-reflecting. And that scene with Mira, where she does that, raises a lot of positives, in my personal opinion, for her character. So I'm all for it. As we see Mira kind of questioning herself, like why she wants to get stronger, and kind of having those images kind of pop up and her memories kind of coming forward. I thought that was really nicely done and choreographed. It was done in a way that kind of made you want to root for Mira and kind of shout at your screen saying, come on, you can do it, get up, get up. And that is what I'm looking for, because I feel like a member of the audience. And I'll talk about the audience in a minute, but the audience is a great part to this actual overall series. And I'll talk more in just a second. So then Darway. Darway didn't really do anything in this episode apart from build more tension between himself and Jaquil, which probably again said that name completely wrong. You see him up on screen, the blue-haired guy that he attacked in the ring a while ago. And obviously fight a lady in the men's bathroom. Why she was there? I don't know. But I'm not sure getting kissed by her was a good thing. Personally speaking, she's not my type. But if you are, then you can tell me how jealous you are of Darway in the comments below. Are you jealous of this girl and the reason as to why she kissed Darway, or for Darway being kissed by her? I don't see it. Anyway, if you are, let me know. Be interested to see. The last thing I want to mention, like I said, was the crowd, as well as the six. I loved the crowd's reaction in this episode, because it helped sell more of the bad and the ugly things that occur. And trust me, there were some ugly things in this episode, like this guy. And Mira's horrifying beatdown was sold perfectly by the crowd. The crowd looked really unsettled. They looked really shocked. They're like, oh my god, what? It's like they didn't even see Darway beating up Mira in the first half of the tournament. So, I mean, okay, most of the people in the crowd there might be different, but, I mean, at the same time, it's a televised show. So, I mean, come on, you've seen worse than this. Like, you just seen a man kind of munched a guy to pieces. I'm talking about the magician getting absolutely destroyed. But, you know, so seeing Mira get stabbed by her own sword, and the crowd just going, ah! I don't know, it made me laugh a little bit, but at the same time, it added that kind of next level kind of representation to the level that, again, just added to my enjoyment overall. And there were some really unsettling things in this episode. Again, like I said about that bloke that was like the muscular swimsuit swimming guy. And the one thing that really put me off, but I liked it because it put me off. And that was hearing sounds of like squelching water when Mira's sword was sliding off this guy because he just put so much oil on himself. And that, it hurt my ears. It really did. Hearing, I was like, okay, sure. Not a fan. And the look that the six had. They all looked like they had PTSD after seeing Mori's beat down on his opponent. They're like, so, the tiger raised another tiger. And that just makes me excited for more things to come. Because we know that Margin Park has already been slightly manipulating things and kind of being a bit shady. So maybe we're going to see a bit more of that. Overall, I really did enjoy this episode. I thought it was a good episode with a few changes from the source material, but honestly, those changes did not ruin my enjoyment for the episode. I still really found it really interesting. Amazing music, really good animation, and hopefully more greatness to come as we have more exciting battles and the plot unfolds a bit more. So let me know your thoughts on this episode down in the comment section below, and remember, have fun, stay safe, subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video from me, and I'll see you next time. Alligator, madane. Goodbye.